Hello guys, the league is really close already and I got my league start build locked in. If you've seen my 0 to hero video about this build, you know that I tried it and I instantly fell in love with it. The build feels really good to play, it's really cheap, and it has a nice amount of complexity which I personally really like. So I'm gonna be league starting it. Now, let me tell you a bit about the build. The core of the build is Energy Blade. This will allow us to get crazy amounts of flat damage, but at the cost of energy shield. So we're gonna need to have a lot of it. And the way we're gonna get it is thanks to Ivory Tower. This unique body armor will give us energy shield based on the life we have reserved at the moment. So we will be stacking a lot of life and reserving it with auras and stuff like that, using blood magic to swap the reservation from mana to life. The goal is to reserve as much of our life as possible to get the most out of Ivory Tower. Also, we'll be using Wrathpit Glove, which gives us 5% crit chance and spell damage for 100 maximum life. Now, there's a problem with this. Since most of our life is reserved and we don't have Chaos Inoculation, any amount of Chaos damage would instantly one-shot us. To fix this, we'll be using Coruscating Elixir. This flask is gonna make it so chaos damage doesn't bypass our energy shield while the flask is active. But this creates another problem. How do we keep our flasks running 100% of the time, so we don't randomly die whenever Coruscating Elixir runs out? That's where the trader comes in. This keystone will make it so we get 4 flask charges every 5 seconds for each empty flask slot that we have. With this, if we leave 2 flask slots empty, we get enough charges to sustain our Coruscating Elixir and any other elixir that we equip indefinitely. Now with this, it doesn't matter if we have 1 life, chaos damage will not kill us. And as a special bonus, we can also use our flasks to fill resistances, since they're always gonna be on, so that's a flat % resistance. With this setup, we can get lots of energy shield while stacking life, which in turn will give us crazy amounts of flat lightning damage from Energy Blade. But how do we use this damage in our build? That's where our Ascendancy comes in, Inquisitor. With this Ascendancy, we have access to Battle Mage. Battle Mage gives us added spell damage based on the damage of our weapon. And since we've stacked so much flat damage with Energy Blade, this buff is a lot of damage to spells. And this is where our main source of damage comes from. Following with our Ascendancy, we also have Righteous Providence, which gives us 1% crit chance per point of strength or intelligence that we have, whichever is lower at the moment. So, we're gonna be stacking both int and strength to get a lot of crit chance. This also synergizes really well with the Shaper's Touch gloves, which give us 1% energy shield per 10 strength and 2% evasion per 10 intelligence. And since we're going crit, the best choice is to use Cast on Crit to cast a lot of spells. Talking about spells, my favorite thing about this build is that it behaves like a skeleton, and you can use any spell that you like, since our damage is not dependent on anything but energy shield. And as I showed at the beginning of the video, you can just swap around gems and try any spell you like, and it's probably gonna work because you have so much damage. I personally love using Blazing Salvo since it's my favorite spell in the game, but you can use any kind of spell you like. Now for the leveling part, I have a full video about it in my channel if you want to see the progress in a little bit more detail, but the thing is we're going to be using energy shields and any kind of spell you like from the very beginning, from the campaign up until endgame. So that's something I really like about this build. We don't really have to do any big swap or any kind of skill set change. It's just the same thing all the time. But as I said, if you want to see the leveling process in more detail, go watch the 0 to hero video and you'll see what changes I was making, what spells I was using, and when I swapped to Energy Blade. And now with all of that said, I'm so ready for the new league, and if you want to see my league start process, make sure to subscribe, activate the bell to see everything I do in the first couple days and later on in the league. I hope you liked the video and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.